Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. It's been an exciting week for some gold and platinum miners, with plans to improve business and operations. Mining Weekly editor Martin Creamer unpacks the headlines. Welcome, Martin.
Hi, Sashni.
Now, to start off with Goldfields,
Yes.
they plan to heavily invest in mechanized mining.
Yes, they've invested 29 billion already in South Deep. So the investment has been huge. That is a fantastic asset because we are in the city of gold. Gauteng is called the place of gold, and this is in the province of Gauteng. And it's a mine that will be there for the next 70 years. When they close all the other mines, this thing will probably still be going. It's an almighty ore body. It's not like the normal ore body that is lower than the table we're looking at here, where you have to mine on your belly. This you can go in a double-decker bus and still have room for a roof rack. And so it's a totally different situation. They believe they've got a technical solution, and they've been working on this for a long time. It's been a hard nut to crack because every time they report, whatever they were planning doesn't materialize. Now they're saying it's a people issue. So they're taking 10% of their payroll, 200 million rand a year, and they're plowing it into people development. They've liaised now with the universities at the top level, put 6 million into the universities to try and graduate people in mechanized mining thinking, get them to do research in that. Then they've done soft training, hard training, every which way training. So they're training people to actually work and drive and operate the big, heavy machines that have to be driven around in these circumstances. And they're also, making sure that the people who supply those machines interface with all their staff. So they're seeing this as a sort of a South African challenge, because we are moving away from our handheld drilling and blasting of the past. We've got this opportunity in deep level gold mining, because this is 3 kilometers down, for going into bulk mining. So, that's unusual for our gold mining. They're saying it's a South African challenge. Let's crack it, because at the moment it's cracking us. And, they thought that safety would be a thing. And when they had 2 fatalities, people sort of questioned, what is this all about? And it's around freak accidents. So they're saying it's people, not technical things. The technical solution is there. The people have now got to really be put into this new mindset. And hopefully they'll be enthusiastic about it, because, the potential pay is so much higher for the individual operator. And the sort of the career path, this is where transformation can take place, because you're talking about 70 years here. So now you bring community people in, they come in, they get the training, their kids can be coming in, to actually take over from them. And they paraded a person from the Western African operations that they have. And they're saying, this is the sort of transformation we have. A mine worker is now leading that. So that's the way you can run up this ladder, if we really work together. So again, it's a reiteration of, come on, the unions, let's work together. Come on, government, let's show that South Africans can be world-class in this, and not just the Australians and the Canadians. And come on, ourselves, put the money in, get the leadership in. So they've got Martin Priest leading the show there. They think that this time around they're going to do it.
Now, jumping to platinum, Northam has unveiled its 900 million rand smelter expansion at its platinum mine in Limpopo.
This was platinum power, the belief in platinum. Even though things are so tough in platinum, there's still that belief that when things are down, that's when you prepare, because when they're up, it's going to be too late. So do everything when things are tough. And we've seen with Northam, their belief in platinum's future is obvious, because they're not only acquiring, they're also organically growing. And in order to get this new lot of material processed, they've doubled up their furnace capacity, coming in with a really modern new furnace that gives the heat necessary, hoping to hit that 1 million ounce mark, which they've promised, that they'd have a production of 1 million ounces, and making sure that they've got the infrastructure to cope with that. And they showed us around it. They flew us there in helicopters, showed us around this operation with great pride, and it seems like a great engineering achievement. hopefully it's will prove that. It's still early days,
Yeah.
but it seems like things are going to really be processed very well there. And standing around with it is a great partnership. Heraeus, the Germans were there in force. They have been working with Northam at Zondereinde and generally for the last 30 years. Now they have just announced another 20 years, so it'll be like a half century when this 20 years is up of collaboration. And it's wonderful because they take all that concentrated material, it's flown off to Germany for processing, then comes back to Port Elizabeth, the platinum and the palladium. Nice cooperation between South Africa and Heraeus, which itself is growing organically and which itself has got incredible expertise. When they started talking to me about the number of uses they have of platinum, I mean, my head spun. I think we need to go to Germany. We need to sit down and say, gee, is this where platinum goes into medical? It goes so much into industrial. We know nothing about it. It's coming back here to Sasol and places and refineries and all that sort of thing that we know nothing about. There's a big story there that the Germans can tell from Heraeus, and they're quite a friendly bunch. They also went round to the wonderful housing developments that they've got there. Really the correct way of approaching housing. Different houses, different facades, a lot of interface with the people. What do you want? Where do you want the trees? Where do you want the grass? What do you want us to do here? And you can buy this. You're selling at 500,000 rand for like 60 square meter house with a garden, trees in the garden, driveway, and all sorts of discussions that they have to make sure that the people like these houses, because even when people die in some of these communities, they want a special area for the mourning period. That they've taken all this into consideration, spoken to these people, and they don't only sell to employees. If other people want to buy that live in Northam, they'll sell those houses to them as well. So they're building them there. You can see them building. They're building in such a way that the cost is quite tight. And the way the financing works, the banks love it because they don't see much risk in coming in with a bond, because that living out allowance that the mine workers used to get is now turned into a sort of a housing allowance. So the banks are very happy with the arrangement, and you can see the people are very happy. And Heraeus was also walking around there, and they handed over keys and champagne, and so it was very good insight for foreigners to see the step up now in South Africa, where workers are housed well so that they can work well. And the one I spoke to, he's a father of 4. He says he was born in Swaziland. He came here 17 years ago, was working in the laboratory, and he says now in March he moves in with his 4 kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now lastly, Pan-African Resources is expecting excellent things from tailings retreatment.
Yes, tailings can give you a tailwind when there's trouble. Now, when we look at the rand price of gold at the moment, I notice the CEOs of gold mining companies, when you talk of the rand price, when it goes back into rands, they go ashen-faced because, Cyril Ramaphosa has come in and it's wonderful, but he strengthened the rand to such a point that it's squeezing them, particularly if they've got underground operations only. If you see the rand price go below this 500,000 rand per kilogram, they start worrying. What people have worked on in the past is a strong rand as dollar and a weak rand. And this has given them a wonderful situation, but they've got too used to it. Now they must move out of it. And one of the things that can help them, if they've got a mixture of underground and surface material, the tailings, as we can see with Pan-African Resources, become an ameliorating factor. The blow is not so hard. You might have to do a lot with your underground. Some of them, people around the place are even mentioning the word closure, but ahead of that, you've got this possibility of ameliorating the blow, softening the blow, because you've got a tailwind from tailings. You've got these gold tailings that are on surface, low risk, low cost, and give you a nice margin of profit, which can help you overall. But as they say, things happen so fast in South Africa, things can change. You know, there could be certain macroeconomic things which start changing the currency situation or lifting the dollar price. You know, all those sort of things can happen. But in the meantime, they're focusing on the operations and seeing how they can keep going, you know, in this difficult circumstances, and looking to surface operations. And we can see with DRD Gold tying up with Sibanye, there's a lot happening on the surface operations, because when you see the all-in cost of some of these activities, particularly those at Pan-African Resources, can be below $700 an ounce, their all-in cost. So that can give you a nice margin that can help you in the business generally. So this is what swirls around in South Africa all the time. It moves fast and things change. But I think it's good for the management. They when they do eventually get steady state, I think they're going to really do well, because they're so used to moving and changing and adapting and improving efficiency. I think it'll be good.
Thanks for speaking with us, Martin.
It's a great pleasure, Sashni.
That's it for today. Join us again next week for more news analysis on South Africa's mining industry.